So I saw an interesting interview that Mr. Turkey did with ESPN, and during this interview, he admitted to putting out fake information out there, and I guess it was trying to test the waters to see what people wanted to see. He wasn't real clear on what he did. Even the interviewer asked him, like to elaborate, and I just got the feeling that he was saying the fight was canceled when it wasn't, to really see if people wanted to see Jake Paul versus Canelo Alvarez, because Mr. Turkey found out that Jake Paul and Canelo were trying to make a fight happen in May, and he didn't like that because he said, we're trying to build big fights here with real fighters. He said, you can do the Jake Paul thing when you're 60, but right now we're trying to hype up the fight between you and Terrence Crawford. And he pretty much didn't want any monkey wrenches thrown into that equation by having a YouTube guy, or as Timothy Bradley said, Disney boy. He didn't want a Disney boy stepping in there and then ruining it. Just say, what if Jake Paul knocked him down or won, or just made him look bad? It would kind of take away from the fight with Terrence Crawford, being that Jake Paul is not considered a real fighter necessarily. Even though he's probably better than average, no one really takes him that seriously. So Prince Turkey made it clear that he didn't want that. So he was kind of trying to test the waters to see if people wanted it. And he said the boxing world spoke up and showed they didn't want it. And I thought it was interesting too that he said that was the number one search thing on Google in America, and I forget where else, maybe the UK. I guess people checking on Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul. I mean, people are trying to figure out what's going on. Like, the fight's on, then it's off, now it's back on. So it was interesting. But Turkey's got some big plans for boxing. He was talking about having fights on Alcatraz. He asked the interviewer, you know about Alcatraz? Like, what do you think about a fight there? Like, would you want to see that? He's always testing the waters to see what people want to see. So he wants to have a fight on Alcatraz. I think he mentioned Mount Rushmore or some mountain somewhere. So he wants to have fights in strange places, which is kind of smart, because it's like it'll bring in people that not necessarily would watch a boxing match, but just because it's in a strange place, they think, hey, let me check this out, see what this is all about. So he's definitely doing some different things that the boxing world hasn't seen. For him to put out fake news, I think someone talked about that. Maybe it was Kurt, that from Counterpunch Boxing, that someone was telling me that he's probably putting out information out there to see how the people feel. And do you guys really want to see Jake? I guess if people showed an interest in Jake Paul versus Canelo, maybe you'd have been like, okay, go ahead, but I don't really back it, but the people want it. But once he saw the people didn't want it, I guess he's like, okay, well, newsflash, the fight was never canceled between Canelo and Crawford anyway. I was just trying to rock you guys' world with that information. But that's how it went. And if you guys want to see it, like I said, it's here on YouTube. Mr. Turkey did it with ESPN, and he's an interesting guy, man. He wants the fights he wants, when he wants them, and how he wants them. And he made an interesting point. He was saying that he doesn't have to be your friend to call you up and talk to you and negotiate with you. A lot of people in boxing and just life in general feel like, well, if I don't like this guy, I'm not going to talk to him. Or you can't operate that way in business sometimes, or in life. Sometimes you have to confront and talk to people in awkward, difficult situations to get the business done, to just, show your level of intelligence. Sometimes you just have to squash beef and be a man or be a woman. Anyway, it's the J Roos Theory. If you want to donate to the J Roos Theory, the Cash App is $J Roos33. If you want to follow me on IG, that's the J Roos Theory over there too. LSR forever. You guys interested in seeing a fight on Alcatraz or Mount Rushmore? What the loser has to jump in the water and swim with the sharks? I guess that's a new way of looking at boxing, huh? Oh yeah, he was even Mr. Turkey was asked about a fight league with Dana White, and he was pretty much saying, well, let's see what happens. He doesn't want to give too much away just yet because, there are people out there that will steal your ideas and run with it and make it make it seem like they thought of it. Anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. LSR forever. Be fearless. Yay.